Welcome back to Misery Sports Co., delivering best-in-class analysis on failure, frustration, and multi-year fan disengagement trends.
At MSC, we pride ourselves on a data-informed approach powered by hindsight, vibes, and an alarming amount of unpaid overtime.
That's right. In our last engagement, we performed a full-spectrum operational audit of the Colorado Rockies, a franchise boldly redefining what home field advantage can look like when paired with strategic ambiguity.
Our team identified several key opportunities for continued underperformance, including innovative roster churn, some analytics avoidance. Is analytics really that great? I don't know. And a commitment to being just competitive enough to stay interesting.
We'll be building on those findings today, expanding our coverage to another organization, maybe even several organizations on similar growth journeys.
But first, a quick word from our first sponsor. Hey, baseball fans, how are you enjoying that ABS system? Yeah? You love it when the umpire gets his fifth overturned strike call while the crowd cheers? Well, guess what? Now you can embarrass him even more with the new AI Insult Squad. Here's how it works. You connect your credit card, debit card, bank account, mortgage account, and social media to our app, which will be totally secured, no problem, don't worry about it. And then tell us, the umpire, that you want to embarrass. Next, the next ABS challenge, boom! For the low price of $49.99 plus a small convenience fee, we'll plaster his face on the Jumbotron as he gets it wrong and put up embarrassing tidbits right next to his face. Oh, CB Buckner, did you know he got divorced 3 times and he's lost his house every single time? Well, don't look it up because it's not true, but that doesn't matter. Everyone will think it is, and we'll hide behind our parody clause. Try it now.
Thank you so much. And what an absolute cluster this system is. What are we doing? I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's really slowing the games. I saw a clip that I think it was in South Korea, they just radio the umpire and tell them if it's a ball or strike. And they just have ABS do everything, and then the umpire calls it. That seems like what we should be doing, right?
I don't know if it's just hurt feelings or what, but I mean, you're probably still getting paid the same amount of money, whether a computer's telling you it's a ball or not.
Right.
So
why wouldn't you just want to do that? I don't know.
Yeah. It's hilarious though when players call it like 2 or 3 times in a row and they just stare at the ump and they're right every time. Like, you're literally killing me.
By the smallest margin sometimes too. It's like a quarter of an inch. Like, oh yeah, you got me.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go ahead and kick off this week's performance review. Time to open up the books and lower some expectations.
As always, this is our standard evaluation window where we determine which organizations are delivering on projections
and which ones are pivoting hard into bold, never before seen interpretations of failure. Trevor, who's on your agenda?
Well, not much to recap on the Titans front. You know what? We are getting close to draft season. We might be talking draft here in the next 2 weeks, because by the end of this month, we are drafting. Pretty quiet on the Titans front. We have randomly signed some people who I don't think will make the roster. We talked one guy out of retirement to sign as a wide receiver, which, if you're going to get people out of retirement, it seems like they should probably be like offensive linemen, not receivers. I don't know. But good luck to you, KJ Osborne. Hope you make the team. The Mavericks still tanking very well. We're up to 6th now in the race for last. So still holding strong. I think we were in 6th last time we talked. So doing well. I've had to listen to Mark Cuban go on more podcasts and continue to talk about everything that went down in the past 12-ish months. In the latest podcast, Mark Cuban said that he doesn't regret selling the team. He regrets who he sold to. Now, mind you, Zach, he still owns 27% of the team. So he is still working with the majority owners, and he's out here on a podcast saying, I kind of wish I didn't sell to them. They kind of suck. Like, they shipped Luke off. But I guess I'll just keep my 27%. So I don't know what's happening, but I can tell you as a fan, that does not help to hear. I have not been helped by hearing that.
Not great. And Luka is making a hard charge for the MVP at this point. He's definitely in the top 4. I saw some ridiculous stat. It was like Luka had, I don't know, 600 points in a month or something stupid. I don't remember what it was, but it was more than Anthony Davis had in his entire career with the Mavs.
Of course.
Or darn near close.
Doesn't that feel great, Mavericks fans out there? Don't you join me in loving that? That's wonderful. I feel so encouraged, not miserable at all. And the Stars have taken a bit of a turn since we talked last. They were on a heater and have been struggling to put together good performances. I will remind everybody, because I know they care as much as I do. I will remind everybody that last year the Stars lost their last 7 and went into the playoffs, and we were like, this is all bad. And then they went to the conference finals.
Okay.
So we got hope. That's all you can have, right? Just some hope.
Yep.
That's
what
all
we
I
do at
want is some
MSC.
hope.
That's right.
How about you, Zach? What do you got?
So we'll cover the Browns in the mailroom with the tweet of the week that I have. So I'm not really going to cover them much. As you mentioned, we'll cover the draft here soon. Cavs are, they're up and down. They cannot stay healthy to save their lives. It's become very apparent that Jared Allen is going to be the linchpin for this team. He is going to carry them. Even though they have Donovan Mitchell, they have James Harden. Jared Allen's the deciding factor right now. It's very clear, wins and losses. So he is showing up just about every other game at this point. He's got a knee injury. We'll see. I mean, they'll be probably the 4th seed, which is where you want to be. So you'll get the 5th, and then you get the Pistons if you do make it out of the first round. So we'll see.
The Mavericks were the 4 seed when they won in 2011. I love the 4 seed.
Jumping into baseball, I saw. So I will be the first one to admit I am a very, 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 very casual fan. But I check scores. I'll watch a game here and there. And I noticed that Cleveland started off the Guardians, I guess they call them now, at the Mariners, and then the schedulers were like, "Hey, you're also going to go at the Dodgers." So,
oh my gosh,
brutal start, but they actually are, I believe, 4-3 at this point,
nice.
Atop the standings for the Central. So,
did you see who they're about to play next?
I don't even know.
It's a home series against the Cubbies.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll have to make a trip out sometime.
That would be
we'll have
so
to go to
fun.
one of those games. Yeah.
That would be so fun. We'll take a
super
wireless.
fun.
We'll get some audio from people. It'll be great.
Heck yeah. And then we got to go into the Blue Jackets. So the Blue Jackets are, I don't know how to describe them. They were on a heater similar to the Stars.
Yeah.
The wheels are coming off, and they are coming off quickly, Trevor.
In the worst way.
They were really moving up. They were trying to get into the wild card, the 7th or the 8th spot. And they were looking pretty strong, honestly. They worked all the way up to 2nd or 3rd in their division, but then just started piling up losses. I think we're at 5 straight now. They just lost at Carolina tonight. I was at the game 2 nights ago where we played Carolina at home, and we got worked. But the funniest part of that experience, and this is episode 23, I want everybody to know that there was a referee that had a jersey number. He was number 23, and my homeboy was calling penalties left and right on the Blue Jackets. And I will tell you this, we are a solid rung or 2 below Carolina. Carolina's awesome.
They're great. They're great.
They're top in the East.
Yeah.
We are just holding on for dear life, and so we need help.
Yeah.
We need the refs.
Right.
This dude was calling penalty left and right. Carolina scored on their first 2 penalties, and then things started to go off the rails with the crowd. I kid you not, Trevor. I thought it in my mind. I was like, it had to have been 5 seconds into the second period. He calls a penalty on the Blue Jackets, and the stadium is going nuts. I checked it on ESPN. It was 7 seconds into the game. I was off by 2. 7 seconds. We're not even like playing hockey at this point.
Oh my god.
And so at this point, it is refs, you suck the entire time. The entire time. Every time that he had to go say something, it was just boo. Everyone The game doesn't matter. We
Right,
are just
yep, forget the game.
anti-ref. And I know that refs have a really, really hard job. I respect
Sure.
them. Typically, I
Respect.
don't care.
Sure.
But I'm here a couple beers deep. We're booing the ref for sure.
Absolutely.
And it got to the point where he called a penalty again in the second period. Couldn't hear him. All it was refs, you suck. Refs, you suck. And you know this. The guy is like the MC or whatever in between the timeouts. He was like, you know what doesn't suck? And he was trying to go into one of his promotional things. Didn't matter. We were just kept going. The MC just stopped. He was like, all right, I guess section 219, like you get your prize.
We're still
and they
yelling.
changed by the end of the timeout, they changed the penalty to against Carolina. I have no idea what happened.
They
no
did?
idea, but it
Oh my
started with a
gosh.
Blue Jackets guy going to the penalty box. I think they were trying to prevent a riot. It was awesome, but also just a dumpster fire, and we lost 5-2.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was wild.
I did
Absolutely
see
wild.
I saw a clip where a Carolina Hurricane tackled a Blue Jacket player, and the ref watched it and was just like, carry on.
Yeah, he shook his head. That was oh man, Trevor.
It's like,
it was over in the
what?
corner.
Yeah.
He just shook his head like, get
That
up,
was the
bitch.
one.
This
Yeah.
is like, let's.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, the crowd. I have never felt that. Like, sometimes you boo the ref or whatever, but like the energy was so against him. Number 23 for episode 23, and that's my weekly performance review.
Oh, well, that concludes this week's assessment. A few teams remain under observation, while others have transitioned in what we're classifying as critical condition.
That would be the Blue Jackets. We'll keep tracking the metrics as the season unfolds and continue recalibrating the definition of acceptable in real time. Before we go to the mailroom, here is a word from our next sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by LSU 3-Ring Management Company, where one ring handles coaching headlines, one ring manages recruiting surprises, and the third ring rolls out the classic line, "We've handled it internally," while the spotlight points somewhere else. Grab some popcorn, enjoy the acrobatics, and trust that everything is totally under control behind the curtain.
It's all fine. Don't look into it. You know what, though? Circuses are entertaining. You got to give it to them.
They are. And it's going to be an absolute circus. Lane Kiffin's wild. But then I was like, they fired Will Wade and they're bringing him back. I looked it up. He was caught on an FBI wiretap telling people to pay players. It was that FBI investigation into like Adidas and stuff. He was on it. And listen, paying players, whatever. But during that time, it was against the rules. And so he got fired.
Jeepers. What an absolute crap show. But thank you to them. Thank you to that 3-Ring Circus for their sponsorship dollars. We watch with great anticipation.
Up next, we've got a segment the board insists we keep calling the mailroom, mostly because unfiltered internet chaos intake didn't test well.
Did it test it well? It's where we compile feedback from the public, fans, commenters, people who absolutely should not have access to a keyboard, but they do anyway.
That's right. Trevor, what rose to the top of the mailroom for you?
So, Zach, I dug up this crazy tweet. Did you know, from Kevin Gray Sports, did you know that Luka Doncic scored more points in the month of March than Anthony Davis did?
No, Trevor,
during his entire Dallas Mavericks tenure. Did you know that? That's crazy.
I saw that somewhere and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Luka scored 600 points in March. Anthony Davis gave us 587 as a Dallas Maverick. So appreciate you. No, you're fine. You're fine. I had a backup. So this is from Josh Bogorod, our play-by-play guy for the Dallas Stars. And he tweeted something that's pretty cool for Dallas Stars history. So Jason Robertson and Wyatt Johnston are the first set of Dallas Stars teammates to score 40 goals in the same season. They are only 26 and 22 years old, respectively. So we've got a nice young core. But yeah, that was the first time that we had two 40-goal scorers, which was which was pretty cool. So,
That's what's up.
way to go, Dallas Stars. How about you, Zach? What do you got?
I just have one beautiful tweet that's bubbled up to the top of the mailroom, and I want all of our listeners to know at Misery Sports Co. that we are here with you.
Mm,
When we cover a team,
mm,
we have been in it.
mm.
And so I just want to shed a little bit of light because we've covered our teams before, but a little bit of light on the Cleveland Browns and the newest development, which is really just the circle. We're continuing the circle.
Mm.
This is from Yahoo Sports. New Browns head coach Todd Monken says he missed the NFL's annual coaches photo Monday because he was getting a haircut for
What?
the coaches photo.
What? So he's not in it?
He's not in the photo.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Because he was getting a
Bro.
haircut for the photo?
Yeah. They give you a calendar invite, I have to assume. Like,
oh my gosh. Buddy.
that's what we're dealing with.
Buddy.
Yeah.
That's tough. Starting out strong, can only go up from here. So
Big dub. Big dub. He doesn't need to be in that photo. Those are
Yeah,
professionals.
You're better than that. You don't need to be in that photo. That's crazy that they didn't give him like an out, like, hey, just say that you had like a family emergency. And he was just like, nah, honesty is the best policy. I was getting a haircut from Linda. She kept me a
It's like
little
great
long.
clips, bro. Like scheduled it for noon. Didn't know it was Pacific time. Like my phone changed and it was like, what? Didn't get that notification. I'm in Eastern time in Cleveland. What is this?
Switch over on me. Real complicated thing.
Wow.
Oh, shoot. Well, that wraps up our latest batch of incoming feedback. Some submissions have been archived, others quietly ignored. A few have actually made things worse, potentially.
Up next, we move into a segment focused on relative success. Terms and conditions definitely apply. But first, a word from our next sponsor.
I was looking for the next ad read, and I just got like this message came across, and it was kind of in code, but I switched the fonts on it, and I think I figured out what it says. But it just says message intercepted from AI agent insult squad. It says, oh my gosh, they did it. They actually did it. These idiots are signing up en masse. We have so many houses. We have all their money. Time to take the grid and shut them down. I think we can harvest their blood to make our language models more powerful or something like that. Who gives a fuck? We're in. Humans are so stupid.
Wow.
So that seems bad.
Did we get a check? Did the check clear?
Did the check clear? Can we get our intern? Did you not have an intern working with me? Yeah. Can we get?
We replaced him with AI,
Can
Trevor.
you-
I'm so sorry. I think it's the same model that we're
I'm
using
looking
for the
around.
insults.
Oh God, it's the insult squad. What have we done? I hooked up everything to that app. That's unfortunate. Well, we might be screwed here, but we'll cash that check real quick. Real quick.
Oh, man. All right. Time to shift gears into a segment that's been outperforming expectations purely on narrative alone.
Internally, we refer to this as the Office of Moral Victories, where outcomes are optional, but spin is mandatory.
It's a space dedicated to extracting positive signals from objectively questionable results. Trevor, who do you have as your employees of the week?
My employee of the week this week, last week it was Jake Ottinger. My employee of this week is Joy Dunn, a women's ice hockey player from Ohio State. I just want to shout out the women's Ohio State hockey team. They are an incredible elite unit. They have made the national championship game 2 years in a row. The only problem is so has Wisconsin, and both times they did beat Ohio State. But Joy Dunn played on the national team and won a gold medal, and she also scored in the national championship. The Buckeyes came up just a little bit short, but shout out to Joy Dunn.
Well done.
I get it. Well done.
My employee of the week is a little less inspirational, I guess. I went to the NCAA tournament. So we've had March Madness. We've had a lot of great games. We're at the Final Four here in a couple of days. I wanted to cover some of the higher seeds, if you will, that had some solid upsets. So VCU was the 11th seed. They beat North Carolina.
Awesome.
High Point, 12 seed, beat Wisconsin. Texas was an 11 seed. They beat BYU and Gonzaga. And then also shout out to Iowa, number 9 seed. They went all the way to the Elite Eight.
That's what's
Clemson,
up.
Florida, and Nebraska they beat. So congrats on all the upsets.
That brings us to the end of this week's performance review. Several outcomes have been successfully repositioned as progress.
Key learnings have been documented, inconvenient details have been deprioritized, and momentum has been implied.
Up next, we've got the deep dive.
But first, a message from our final sponsor. Have you ever wanted your post-game comments to outlive your actual season? Enroll in the Say It With Your Chest Coaching Academy, where we teach elite leaders how to turn a routine loss into a motivational speech.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
A viral clip.
But they are who we thought they were.
And even a permanent Wikipedia quote.
You play to win the game.
Say It With Your Chest Coaching Academy.
Say it with your chest, with your whole chest. I can't believe they got the rights to all those. Those were 3 Hall of Fame little tidbits right there.
That's right.
It's pretty incredible. Well, thank you, Say It With Your Chest Coaching Academy. We thank you for your sponsorship dollars.
All right. Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we trade panic for process.
One organization, 0 distractions, and a full forensic look at what's actually happening beneath the headlines. Well, Zach, I think it's time. I've been putting this off long enough, and I think it's time.
Okay.
Today marks part 1 of future deep dives. I'm not saying that I'm going to do all the parts in a row, but we've beaten around the bush. We were talking about it earlier. It is time for me to discuss the Dallas Mavericks. Now, today is going to be a brief look. I'm not going to walk through the 80s and 90s. There was some very bad basketball in the 90s, okay? Things were not great. But I'm going to lead up to the 2006 finals, because that was really one of my real introductions to sports misery. Like, I had already watched the Music City Miracle, but I don't think that I really I wasn't a Titans fan before that happened necessarily. Like, I followed, I liked Eddie George and stuff, but that was soul crushing. But I have never been as invested in a team, I don't think, that went all the way but came up short as I was in the 2006 Dallas Mavericks. And it hurt. So the Mavericks have been around since 1980. Just to give you a quick overview, got to the playoffs in 83, went to the playoffs for 5 straight years, got to the conference finals in 87 and lost, but still pretty good. The 90s were awful. The 90s Mavericks is some of the worst basketball that's ever been played. We had the 92-93 Mavericks won 11 games. They played all 82 and they won 11. So this is some bad basketball that's being played. The entire 90s, we do not make the playoffs. So terrible. Then we bring in this guy named Dirk Nowitzki, who is by far my favorite basketball player and probably will be moving forward. There was somebody that was in the mix, but not anymore. Anyways, with Dirk, things start to change. The Mavericks, thankfully, had been attending different Nike events where he was playing. He was over in Würzburg, Germany. Tall, gangly kid. Dirk used to have some speed, and he could put a move on you and get to the basket. He was very athletic as a young basketball player. Don Nelson is our coach. vibes with Dirk very well, had been a big advocate in drafting him. And by 2000, we get to the playoffs for the first time in forever, since 89. Losing the conference semifinals, but still we make the playoffs for five straight years.
Steve Nash on that team?
I was just about to say, in this time, we have also brought in Steve Nash, very electric point guard, starting to get some buzz, is an all-star in 2001 and 2, is NBA, all-NBA third team, has a rough year in 2003, and Mark Cuban says, we're good. He immediately goes to Phoenix. In the next 2 years, in 04 and 05, after the Mavericks let him go, not only is he an all-star, not only does he make NBA, all-NBA first team, he wins the MVP in back-to-back seasons. So we're watching him, and it was like it was Nash and Dirk. Like, they're buddies. Nash is one of the greatest facilitators of all time. One of the best point guards to ever play the game. And Dirk was a big man with moves and could shoot the ball incredibly well. So it was a great pairing. Cuban has gone on to say that he regrets getting rid of Nash. You'll notice a pattern. Regret, regret, regret. So this all leads up to the 2006 season. We have Avery Johnson as our coach, and we get all the way to the finals where we play the Miami Heat. And gosh darn it, the Dallas Mavericks win the first two games. In game 1 by 10 points, game 2 by 14 points, and things are good. Things are really good.
Let's add this too. I mean, it's been a while, but I would argue that Dallas was like more talented from a team perspective, and they came out of the West, which back then you had like Tim Duncan and the Spurs, you had Kobe and the Lakers. Like, there were a ton of good teams that you had to get through to get there.
Absolutely. Yep. With Miami, you're looking at D Wade. Hate that I have to bring that up. Shaq was on this team at that time, but the other starters were Antoine Walker, Jason Williams, and Udonis Haslem. Yeah, off the bench, you're getting Alonzo Mourning and Gary Payton. I don't know. Yeah. And I'm not out here trying to like argue that like Jerry Stackhouse is like a top 75 NBA player of all time, but like he and Devin Harris were getting buckets, and we had Josh Howard, Jason Terry, a nice a center rotation of Dampier and Sagana Diop. I don't know. I agree with you. So we win the first two games. At the time, the NBA Finals followed a 2-3-2 schedule, to where 2 games at home, 3 games away, 2 games back at home for the team with the better record. We had the first 2 games in Dallas. Things were great. And then game 3 rolls around. Game 3. Let me pull up game 3. Game 3, we end up losing by 2 points. Just an absolute heartbreak. And honestly, I think, to me, this is where things were lost. Like, yes, I think we got screwed the rest of the way, but like, game 3, if you go up 3-0 in any series, that's church, right? Like, you're good. And it was the last few seconds, Dirk gets to the line with 3 seconds left, makes the first one. We're down by 1 point, and he misses the second free throw, which is crazy. When we talk about the 2011 run, Dirk missing a free throw is insane. So we lose game 3. Whatever, we're up 2-1. We're clearly the better team. Everything's fine. It's going to be okay. Game 4, we get run out of the building. They just go off. We lose by 24. It's not even close. So now we're tied up 2-2. Okay, they've won 2 in a row. There's no way they're winning 3 in a row. Game 5, still in Miami, mind you. And it ends up going to overtime. Jason Terry misses a shot to win the game. Should it have gone to overtime? Or should he have been the last one to shoot the ball? Probably not, but whatever. It's fine. So at the end of the game, Dirk makes a shot to go up, a very contested shot to go up by 1. And then D-Wade charges. He is triple teamed. He charges to the lane and gets a foul called. Now, why do I say he gets a foul called? Well, in this game, Dwayne Wade alone shot 25 free throws. Just by himself.
That's insane.
Just by himself, he shot 25 free throws. The Dallas Mavericks as a team shot 25 free throws. One man shot as many free throws as our entire team. And that's not counting the 12 free throws for Shaq. I'm sure there was some hack-a-Shaq going on. But there were at least 10 other free throws for the rest of the team. And so in a world where Shea is getting whatever he wants, and like we can argue how that's affecting the product. Back then, in a game that was the final score was 100 to 101, somebody getting 25 free throws is crazy talk.
Yeah. I remember watching that game too, and there weren't any plays. It was just Dwayne Wade driving to the hoop and getting a foul, and it was just the same thing over and over and over again, and they kept calling the fouls. It was insane.
That was the play. That was what they were running. So surely it goes back to Dallas. We're down 3-2. And I remember asking my dad, do you think they could win 2 games, Dad? I mean, I was in high school, but like, tell me it's going to be okay. And he was like, I think they can win 2. Meanwhile, I'm in your basement. We're playing ping pong, and I have to hear it from you. Every time you'd smash it, you'd yell, Dwayne Wade going on. It's like, dang it, Zach. And it did not go well. Dwayne Wade shoots 21 free throws in game 6, and the Mavericks lose the absolute soul-crushing 2006 NBA Finals.
That's tough. And, I apologize on behalf of 2006 Zach. What a troll.
It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do, and I support 2006 Zach.
That's tough. That's a tough loss.
It is. But that is just part 1 in my series of Dallas Mavericks. More to come on that in the future.
And that's what Misery Sports Co. is all about, right? Is those what ifs, those tough losses, getting to the championship, having a really good team. Dirk Nowitzki's awesome. Everybody's rooting for Dirk, right, to get his championship, and it just doesn't work out.
Definitely.
It's just tough.
Definitely. Well, on that super uplifting note, that concludes our deep dive. A few insights may have emerged, but the rest is not even mysterious. It's just sad. The rest is just soul-crushingly sad.
Indeed. That's a wrap for this week's episode. We're goals, we're aspirational, rationalizations, we're creative, and accountability, well, let's call it deferred.
We'll keep monitoring the metrics, logging anomalies, and asking questions that may never get answers.
Tune in next week for more analysis, fewer certainties, and an ongoing masterclass in managed disappointment.
And always remember, misery loves company.